All right, we need to talk about a system of discipline. One that's so intense, so unbreakable, that it can actually make people around you a little bit afraid.
Look, this isn't your typical how to build a habit video. We're going way beyond that. We're diving into an ancient system that's designed to create a level of consistency that is, frankly, frightening. It's a method for forging people who just don't fail.
And that system is called Gyoji. It comes straight from Zen monks, these masters of practice, who figured out how to never miss a single day. I'm not talking for a few weeks, I'm talking for centuries. The whole idea is a practice that fuels itself, that becomes this unstoppable, self-perpetuating force in your life.
So how in the world does that work?
Well, the very first step is this massive mental shift. It's all about identity over intention. This is where we stop making promises and start changing who we are.
To get what I mean, let's talk about a programmer named Raphael. Super smart guy, but he was stuck in a cycle we've all been in, right? He'd start a new habit, totally fired up on Monday. By Wednesday, he's negotiating with himself, and by Friday, he's completely given up. Sound familiar?
So here's the core idea of Gyoji, the absolute heart of it. You have to switch from a reversible commitment, saying, I'll try, to an irreversible one. You're not just trying to meditate, you are a meditator. One invites negotiation, the other one shuts it down completely. And Raphael did this by ditching the quiet promises he made to himself and going public. Now, this isn't just about accountability. It's about hacking your own brain. When you make a public declaration, you're tapping into a primitive survival instinct. Suddenly, the fear of public failure becomes a much bigger threat than the discomfort of the habit. The negotiation just stops. He literally posted this sentence online for everyone to see. He told his girlfriend, his coworkers, everyone. And just like that, the game changed. The pain of quitting and facing everyone became way, way worse than the pain of just getting up and doing it.
But here's the thing, social pressure isn't a silver bullet. That 5 a.m. alarm still goes off and there's still a war to be fought in your head. And that brings us to the next crucial pillar. You have to eliminate all choice.
See, to win that war every morning, you stop making decisions. Most of us are trying to drive a car through a forest, always choosing a path. Gyoji is about laying down a railroad track. Once that train is moving, it doesn't decide to turn left. It can't. Its path is fixed.
And you lay this track with 2 dead simple non-negotiable rules. 1, you fix the time. 2, you fix the form. That's it. No exceptions.
So first, Raphael picked 5 a.m. Now, the magic here wasn't about being a morning person. It was about elimination. Think about it. At 5 a.m., there are no other options. No meetings, no texts, no excuses. By fixing the time, he stopped burning mental energy deciding when and saved all that fuel for the actual work.
And second, he standardized the routine down to the last detail. It was always 20 push-ups, then 10 minutes of meditation, then 10 minutes of reading. The exact same thing in the exact same order every single day. No mixing it up.
We're always told that variety is the spice of life, but in the Gyoji system, variety is the enemy. It's where consistency goes to die. By doing the exact same thing over and over, you're actually rewiring your brain. You're moving the habit from your conscious, decision-making mind to the basal ganglia, the automatic part of your brain. It literally becomes as thoughtless as tying your shoes. So let's move on to the third pillar, continuity over perfection. Because you can have the most perfect system in the world, but eventually, life is going to happen, and it's going to try to smash that system to pieces.
And this, right here, is the exact moment most people fail. They get trapped by the all-or-nothing lie. They think, well, I can't do my perfect 20-minute routine, so I'll just do nothing. And that tiny gap, that one day off, is where the old version of you creeps right back in.
The Gyoji philosophy is all about continuity, not perfection. Think of it like a river. In a drought, that river might shrink to just a tiny trickle, but it never, ever stops flowing. The moment it does, it stops being a river. Your practice is the exact same. And this is how you do it. This is the tactical part. You don't make decisions when you're stressed or sick. You make them ahead of time. You create pre-solutions. If I'm traveling, then I do push-ups in the airport bathroom. If I'm feeling sick, then I do 1 push-up and 1 minute of meditation. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is that the chain is never, ever broken.
Okay, so what happens when Raphael puts all this together? The public identity, the fixed track, the pre-solutions, he doesn't just build a new habit, he goes through a total transformation. And this brings us to the final, and maybe most interesting pillar, becoming scary.
He started hearing things from people. Things that would make most of us stop and wonder if we're going too far. His friends started saying he was being obsessive. His girlfriend told him he was getting annoying. Someone actually said to him, "Your consistency is scary. That's not normal." But here is the wild part. In the Gyoji system, that feedback is the ultimate signal that you've succeeded. When your discipline starts making other people uncomfortable, it's because you are now operating on a level they can't even comprehend. It's proof that you're doing something truly different. And it all comes full circle, back to that identity shift. You're no longer the person who tries to be disciplined, you're just the person who is disciplined. It's not something you do anymore, it's just who you are.
And that's really the deepest layer of Gyoji. The real goal isn't just to get you to meditate more or exercise more. The goal is the death of your old, inconsistent, constantly negotiating self and the birth of a new self, someone who is, for all intents and purposes, unbreakable.
So, as we've laid out, this kind of unbreakable consistency isn't a fantasy. It's entirely possible, but it's not a life hack. It requires a fundamental choice, a decision to let go of the person you are right now so you can become the person you know you can be. The only real question left is, are you ready for that?